Alrighty, welcome to the Tuesday. On Tuesday. My name is Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
Stevies are doing E3 stuff, which is something that we didn't get to do today.
Yes.
We were doing ESL, which is cool, I'm not complaining, but you know, it means that we didn't get to do E3 stuff today. So
yeah, we didn't get to play everything.
We'll be there tomorrow, but as a result, we didn't get like hands-on exp with things. And on top of that, I didn't even get to watch or like see what the news was.
God,
when it comes to E3 today. Although, hey, we've been on top of it otherwise, so we'll talk about that.
Literally, I was asking, like, when's the Nintendo conference? And you found out it was 9 a.m. this morning. So I still don't even know what happened at the Nintendo conference. People saying it's a little quiet. Let me turn the volume up a little bit.
So we'll talk about Dragonball FighterZ. FighterZ. We will talk about Marvel Infinite and its demo, playable story demo, which is out.
Yeah, and there's been 3 trailers that Ono tweeted out. There was a gameplay trailer, there was a control demo, and then there was the story mode demo. So.
And then don't forget the one he tweeted out that,
yeah. Oh dear.
Was a while back. But yeah, there's actual game footage out now, and anybody can play it on the PSN, etc. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about E3 more generally. Lots of tasty announcements, both for general gamers, but also for fighting gamers in particular. There's a lot of stuff happening. Very, very cool from a fighting game perspective this era. We'll talk about CEO coming up, which is this weekend. We'll be there.
You know what the scariest thing about that is? And I'm jumping the gun, but the closer CEO is, the closer that means EVO is.
EVO is next month, bub.
Jesus. Okay.
Next month, this time, we will be in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's pretty wild. But we'll talk about CEO because there's a ton of stuff to talk about for it.
Yeah.
Man, so many players are going to be there. Yeah. Every game's loaded. That'll be a cool talk. We'll talk about other game news, etc. Red Hood is out for Injustice. We'll talk about that. But we should start with Dragon Ball. Now, neither of us is like the biggest Dragon Ball fan. We're not like the target anime demo, you know, the demographic over here.
They like shoot fireballs at each other.
They sure do,
they
James.
Scream, and there's like, I think I tweeted out. There's like the character. I think the main character's name is Gecko.
Gecko.
And there's vegetable
versus vegetables
and Freezer.
Oh god. Yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, the Steves are doing E3 stuff, so they can't be here. And they definitely have the... I mean, they were doing DBZ games before it was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been commentating for Dragon Ball, whatever the game's called, on whatever system. I don't even know.
Yes.
At the Wizard World stuff.
And it's funny, too, because everyone's going crazy. And, like, when I was growing up, well, when I was older, I should say, and DBZ was popular.
As an adult, when it was already popular.
People were actually telling me that DBZ was, like, bad. Like, it's just, like, kind of, like, silly and lame and, like, not worthwhile. Like, it's low-rent anime. But I think all the kids who grew up with it and enjoyed it are now adults. And so when they see this game, they're, like, excited about it. I didn't say it was bad. I haven't seen any of it, but, like, that's what people had told me a long time ago.
Well, I joke that I don't have any, like, knowledge in it, but, in fact, I used to watch it on Saturday or Sunday mornings when I was in high school.
So you did see some episodes. You've seen episodes.
Definitely I have.
Like,
I will come clean now that it's cool. I will come clean on that.
I literally...
Not that I'm some expert, but, like, I definitely have watched it.
See, I mean, all these people are in the chat, they're all like, it's pretty bad, but that's what makes it good.
Hey, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's that's basically like how a lot of people grew up with Pokemon, with Power Rangers, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Have you seen Star Wars?
Did Star Wars? Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, but that's what makes Star Wars so good, right? I mean, honestly, that
was just what the people were saying. Yeah,
exactly. But, like, that's why my complaints about episodes 1, 2, and 3 have always been that they took themselves too seriously. That they needed to be cheesier. You know, I've mentioned this a million times, right? You listen to Star Wars' dialogue, and it's about as cheesy. He was making it supposedly as a space version of those cheesy adventure flicks, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's supposed to be goofy.
Oh, I know.
Anyways.
So, anyway, I'm not completely out of things. For example, I know his name's not Vegetable. Alright, fine.
Yeah, I know enough to know he's Vegeta. Yeah. That's all I know, and it's Goku and Frieza. Yeah, okay, I know. Yeah, I knew enough to make fun of the names, let's put it that way.
Fair enough. And I know a lot of the other characters. I'm just no expert in it at all. And if the Steves were here, I would definitely be feigning ignorance and allowing them to talk about everything. But they ain't. So, it's on us. Anyway, it's a very popular thing, and it's very cool because it's a game being developed by Arc Systems Works.
And here's the craziest part about it.
Very cool.
Until that, you know, obviously it was supposed to be announced and supposed to be a shock announcement at the Microsoft conference. It got leaked a couple of days earlier.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing about it is it only got leaked. Nobody had any idea this was even coming.
Dude, that is such a get as ArcSys, the developer, and I think the publisher is Bandai Namco.
Yes,
right?
It is.
So it's like quite a team already. Two fantastic developers, and one of them's developing and others publishing. I mean, that's super sick. But the fact that it was not leaked earlier, yeah, I am with you. That's impressive because it's not like they are announcing it and they're like, we're gonna begin working on it now. No, it looks super great already. Like it's already at a stage they have been working on long enough, clearly, that it already looks awesome. Like there's already like playable stuff at E3, already a bunch of characters. It already looks great.
It just looks like the cartoon.
Are awesome.
It just looks like the cartoon. It's ridiculous.
And there's things that like they put into it that clearly indicate lots of time. Like in between a round, one of the characters gets like blown up, and like the whole Earth is like exploding. Like that's. They've put a lot of time into this thing already. So the fact that it was not leaked, I think, is really impressive.
It's
earlier.
Crazy. It's crazy. And, like, the thing about it is, like, obviously we're not the biggest Dragon Ball fans, right? But I watched that trailer, and I could just tell that if I were a Dragon Ball fan, like, you could not just have been more, like scanners mode. Like your head is just going to explode because the way that it looked, the way that it homage, like people were showing moves and finding the matching manga frame.
I saw that.
Like
that was super cool.
With the one character with the People's Cellbo. I guess it's Cell who's doing they call it the People's Cellbo.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But like the fact that it looked exactly like that frame, like exactly is ridiculous.
Yeah, dude.
Is ridiculous.
Look, I don't think you need to be a Dragon Ball fan to think that this game looks amazing.
Yes.
It looks ridiculous. Like, the graphical, just virtuosity of it is amazing. And, you know, ArcSys with Xrd started that stuff. But as you have been saying, as the extra stuff's come out, Revelator, Rev 2, the new characters, they've been learning, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Baiken looks like a lot of her stuff is, like, better done. I mean, everybody's well done, but like, it's better done than some of the earlier characters. And now that they have had more time, even... Well, I guess I don't even know how long this game's been in development.
Right.
But I guess I would assume more time, it even looks better.
Yeah.
It even looks
it's
better than it did.
You can't even tell...
That engine's crazy.
You can't even tell that it's a 3D game. Like, there's just no indication that it is. Like, that's how crazy it is. And then, like, it zooms in on them all of a sudden, and they just got the anime faces and all the anime background. Dude, if you kill them with certain moves, you see it, like, launch the guy into a building, and he, like, blows up.
Yeah.
Like, the background gets destroyed. Like, as they're shooting lasers, the ground is, like, getting destroyed. And things like... Oh, dude, the attention to detail in that game is ridiculous.
It's funny, because that's been in fighting games since Street Fighter 2. The background gets hit. Oh, it's so cool. But... I don't remember like the last time that I saw like a background explode and think like that was sick.
Yeah.
Typically, I don't even notice. I miss it, but it's impossible to miss it in this game. It's very cool. That's it without being distracting. Like it's just a great combination.
Beams, whatever. Lasers, whatever. Anyways, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. just looks gorgeous. I don't know how much to rave about it, because I feel like I could be raving about that constantly. Already I thought Xrd was fantastic. It's the prettiest 2D game.
Right.
Well, 2D gameplay ever, I felt. And this is at least as good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just amazing looking.
Yeah, and the question really is like what's it going to play like, right? And so there've been a lot of footage that's been released. They've been releasing some footage. I know Nico had a stream that was doing a bunch of footage on there. And so there's like a match footage. There's one match footage that was captured direct feed in like glorious 1080p, which was just beautiful. Yeah. And it looks crazy. I mean, it looks like it has a lot of AUGH things. Like they look like there were dust combos in there.
Right, yeah. I thought it was very interesting to see, like, so let's talk about the gameplay, right?
Yes.
Enough of the gushing about the graphics. Fantastic. The gameplay is a 3 versus 3 Marvel vs. Capcom style game with assists, with speed, with sort of all the things that you expect in a Marvel 2-3 kind of game. And some of the things were really interestingly like shoehorned in there almost. Like the animation for like when you do a dust in Xrd and you like pursue and you go up and it's got like the little like side angle and it's like you're like going up there. That's like launch into continue combo, right? Like that's the air combo. That's super cool. And I said I wasn't going to gush about the graphics, but it is this team based game.
And it looks like the assists are there, but they're like super long cooldown kind of thing. So it's not. I don't know if it's going to be like MVC3 style, where it's just going to be like assist all over the place.
Or MVC2 style, where there was almost no cooldown. Yeah, maybe not like that. I mean, of course, it's going to be its own game. Like it won't be the same as the Marvel 3, nor should it be. But it does clearly have a giant amount of inspiration from that style, and it was explicitly, according to what I've heard, they explicitly wanted it to be like that.
Yeah, and
that was the
some
intention.
people are saying in the chat that you can use both assists at the same time. Interesting. And and also like when they show if you kill a character, it actually goes to a round end,
right?
And the next character jumps in, so there's no incoming mix-ups, right? Which is interesting too.
Yeah. Well, look again, it shouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
It should be its own thing.
Absolutely.
So I like that as a little bit of a different take. I enjoy the incoming mix-up in Marvel 2 and 3. It can get pretty crazy. You know, it can get real crazy. But I like the idea of it. I also really like the idea of just starting it up again. Yeah. You know?
Well, I think that's fine.
Drop the puck in the middle, you know?
Yeah. I think that's absolutely fine. I have no problems with that.
Of course.
But, like, there's a lot of interesting mechanics in that game. Like, it sounds like they have Arcana Heart-style homing dashes in the air. So when you jump and you hit a button, you automatically homing dash at them. It looks like you can flip out of combos you have to flip out of combos manually because there's a clip of someone hitting him and the combo meter turns a different color like they do in Guilty Gear games. Someone I even said that it looked like there's a burst mechanic in the game. It looks like you can change characters like almost at any time, like they just come diving in and like. But I mean, some of the footage is literally just people shooting lasers at each other across the screen everywhere, and like all these projectiles going everywhere, and it just looks absolutely nuts.
Well, that's AUGH has a lot of different character designs, and it's cool because, you know, of course, in building these characters, you have inspirations for their gameplay. We're talking about like the Celbo, right? But many other things than that. You have ideas about what the characters will need to have,
right?
But then you can build on that in very interesting ways.
Actually, David, you should probably move the laptop away from there because I think it's blocking your voice on the microphone. So move it to the side. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, so you get to...
Oh, yeah, you're way louder all of a sudden.
Am I right?
Yeah.
That's cool. You get to create... Like, it's almost like, you know how when somebody gives you a writing prompt, you can write more easily than if somebody's just like, writes something for me.
Oh, yeah. If
there's a prompt, it's like, okay, cool, I can build on this.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about coming into something with an IP like this.
Right. And, you know, I'm also wondering, like, obviously people have played it and people are talking about how much they're enjoying it. So the original, you know, Dragon Ball games, like AUGH developed some of those old ones on the like 3DS and stuff like that. Yeah, just these little 2D fighting games. And you know, they were all designed with like one button, you automatically do combos and stuff. But this one has a light, a medium, and a heavy attack. So I'm wondering, I'm assuming people who have actually tried it, it's probably very different now. You know what I mean? It's probably a lot less auto combo-ish, and and it seems like Arc System Works is trying to make a more legit fighting game out of this. Especially if they're adding in all these crazy mechanics. Like even someone in the chat pointed out, like I remember seeing this in the video too. When you walk forward, you gain super meter, just like in Guilty Gear.
Yeah.
So it sounds like that they're really taking whatever those Dragon Ball games were before and really kind of pulling it into that Guilty Gear universe.
Yeah, it
mechanics.
really. Yeah, it definitely seems. I didn't even know that, but it definitely seems like Guilty Gear meets Marvel. I don't know what better way to put it. I mean, just the movement, the options that you have that we've seen so far. I mean, like even the number of supers, like it kept like things like that. Very good mix of the two. Very interesting mix of the two.
Yeah.
And man, that's playable, right, at E3?
Yeah. People are.
We get to play it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we get to play it tomorrow. So
we only got one day at E3 because Thursday we got to fly out to CEO, but. We got one day at E3 and we got to make it a good one.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to see half the stuff because all I'm just going to want to do is check out MVCI.
It's going to be triage, man. You got to come in there with a plan. You got to have a checklist. Okay, this one.
God.
Right now, we'll talk about E3 in a bit, but I mean, this is the game I got to check out first, especially because MVCI has the story mode demo.
Yeah.
So you get a chance at it. I'm just really excited to see which characters they come out with. As always, even when I know an IP super well, I'm not in it for the characters, right? That's like not why I'm into fighting games.
Okay.
I want to know what the gameplay is, right? Who's the grappler?
Oh, right.
That's what I like. I want to know that kind of thing, and it doesn't seem like that's in there yet, but that's not to say that there won't be. It'd be weird if there wasn't, because there always is. And Narxis, like in Gear, a lot of the characters have command grabs.
Yeah.
There's like the big body command grab, but then there's like the other guys who have command grabs, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to is knowing more about the characters themselves and the
archetypes that they fill.
Yes. Who's the zoner? Who's the who's the Hulk? Right? Like
everyone keeps saying that Broly would probably be the grappler. So I don't know. People saying all these other names that I'm assuming that they're all names of characters.
They are. Well, most of them anyway.
They purposely showed the tame characters first, so prepare for wild, according to the developers.
Oh, did
that's
say
what
that?
Someone say. That's what someone said. Yeah, someone said that the devs said that, but I don't know how reliable chat is because people probably heard it on Twitter, who heard it from Instagram, who heard it from Snapchat. I heard it from
Shinikuma 666.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, look, there's not a ton to talk about in terms of specifics because we haven't had a chance to actually play the game. We've just had. I mean, I've only seen those few gameplay videos, and I definitely watched them a lot. But there's not a ton to talk about.
Yeah, so apparently that is what they said. So they purposely showed the more tame, well-rounded characters, so it wasn't going crazy. And I believe that because Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear have some crazy-ass characters going on in there.
No doubt to me that there's going to be wild stuff.
Yeah.
Because the developer comes up with very interesting things for sure. Not just in Gear and Blaze Blue, but like HNK.
So in the chat, Dr. Dog tweeted out that Kugi provided a lot of details. So I don't know if we want to just sit here and read these on stream or anything like that. So
Ultra Chen reacts. Oh no, trademark infringement.
All right. So also, so he says he's going to post a lot about Dragon Ball FighterZ. He's going to post from the perspective of a high-level Guilty Gear player.
Ooh.
He played. By the way, you can follow him at Koogy Please, KOOGYPLZ. He's also the proprietor of Broken Tier, so support him there as well. So he played primarily villains, Frieza, Cell, and Boo, and tested a lot of Guilty Gear tech. You can cancel your air dash into momentum-altering normals and fall faster, a la Ino Instant Air Dash Vertical Chemical Love. Works with Frieza's Jump 2B and Goku's Jump 2A. So you can like air dash and do stuff. Like if you do that, she just drops right away. So they have stuff like that. There are command normals for a lot of the cast. So you can do 6Y with Frieza, Cell, and Boo are overheads. where I guess they hop. So maybe towards and medium is going to be an overhead for a lot of characters.
Sure.
Or jump 2A with Frieza. So there are, which makes sense because Guilty Gear had a lot of those as well.
Yeah.
You can get a basic auto combo by pressing X a lot. Very easy. Can cancel normal chains into Super Dash and follow up all of Guilty Gear dusts. Assists have varying levels of cooldown depending on the assist.
Oh, okay. They are really playing with things here.
No picking assist or DHC supers. Currently only one option for each character.
Okay, well.
Now on to character breakdowns. He'll start with Frieza since he's his favorite. He's very zoning heavy and has huge full screen options. Sounds like your character
I'm in there.
Yeah. His 2A is Cyclops Upward Optic Blast. Wow, okay. Optic Blast.
Yeah.
A is standard full screen Mashy Fireball. 2Y is similar to Viper Ground Pound, can follow up with Rush. So it sounds like a lot of people's normal moves are just beams and lasers.
I guess that makes sense.
And stuff, yeah. 5Y is MVC2 Doom Rocks that allows a Rush follow-up forward or canceling into his A specials. If you cancel into Rush, you're airborne.
Dang, Doom Rocks?
Generally, I got a basic air combo after any series into Rush into air combo. Very easy, felt like UMVC3 at times, very freeform and fluid.
That's what I'm
That
talking
is
about.
one thing that I have heard about the game is that people said that it just moves and feels good.
It looks like it moves and
Yeah.
feels good. Yeah, it looks like the movement's very satisfying and interesing.
Yeah. God, he even has estimated frame data here.
What are you doing,
Yeah,
Paul?
well, okay, Frieza's zoning game is complemented by his Death Saucer, reminiscent of Virgil's Round Trip, but it hits you also. But yeah, I've seen that. There was a super where he gets up. I don't know if you can only do it on Wake Up, but that guy did it on Wake Up, and the opponent blocked it, and it came back and killed him.
Oh my god.
Cell. He feels better at mid-range. Jump 2Y is a teleport overhead, puts you behind opponent's neck with a shoulder drop. He's a dive kick character.
Right, yeah. Teleport dive kick.
Yeah, Cell's 2Y is Slayer's 2D. Yeah, he does the slide.
I saw that, yeah.
Can cancel into his 5B attacks and lead to a combo.
Okay.
His 2A, 6A, and Jump A are amazing mid-full screen options. Didn't test a lot of his specials, mostly just did normals with him. Lots of left-right shenanigans with that jump 2Y plus assist.
Sure.
Has an unblockable full-screen attack called Telekinesis Slam. Very slow startup, at least 45 frames.
Okay, it's most of a second.
Yeah, couldn't combo after it, but maybe you can. Cell's level 3 Beam Super is pretty fast startup, huge damage. Felt super amazing to activate it. I was kind of hype, crying to be honest. Boo time! Really love this jump piece, similar to Faust Jump H, but altered air momentum plus fatter hitbox. Jesus.
Sounds really good.
Because Faust Jump H is like the scary button. Like that button just like hits the whole screen.
Wait, what does that look like? I don't remember.
It's the one where he just throws the sickle completely straight across the screen.
Right.
So you do the little air thing, he like controls the whole center of the screen. Really loved his... Boo's Jump Y is Slayer's Jump HS with a nice hitbox. With a nice hitbox. I feel like he's more comfortable mid-long range due to his kit. His cartwheel knocks the opponent upward and floats Boo backwards, where he recovers in the air. Did an air dash after it once. His cloud special is like Robokai's 6HS, but huge! At least 50% of the screen. Also has Leo's Jump 236H as a special stable combo ender.
So, what's Robokai's 6H?
Robokai's 6H is the Steam release, I believe, where he just stands straight up and spits out the steam, right? And then Leo's 236HS Jump is where, I'm pretty sure that's the one where he does the swing, catches you, and restands you. But I don't know if this is going to be a restand over here. People said that 7 is the max bar you can build up, and they said they did it that way for the number of Dragon Balls, but I'm not sure if that's actually true or if someone just made that assumption. So, you looking up the number of Dragon Balls?
Maybe.
Okay. So if you defeat the enemy team with his level 3 super, he eats them and they don't reappear. Smiley face. Cell turns into a big cookie-shaped like face.
He eats them.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And that's what he had in that thread.
Wow.
So there you go. That's Coogie Please. So you guys might want to follow him for the
He sounds like a good one, yeah.
Yeah, he might have a lot of information in there. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate the thoughts, and especially from somebody who is a high level. Enough, Birdie.
That was too early.
It was indeed.
It's too early.
It has been and is a high level Guilty Gear player, but he's also been that way with Marvel 2 and 3, he played really well too. So he's a really good guy to get a handle on the game.
It's interesting because I was told that they were not gonna, they were gonna try, they were gonna discourage people from filming video footage. But I think with all the direct feed footage that's been coming out, maybe they didn't care because they said Kugi has a bunch of videos on his timeline right now.
Awesome.
So maybe they were just like, whatever, just let people record whatever.
I hope that's true.
So
I would love to see it.
Okay.
And certainly from his descriptions, it sounds interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing the weird, wild characters if Cell has like a jump attack that's a teleport that hits overhead behind you. And if a basic attack is a Doom Rocks. What's the wild characters
apparently they asked and they just said, go ahead.
Sick.
Nice. Okay. Smart stuff. It's Koogy Please. KOOGYPLZ. I'll throw it into the middle of the thing down here.
Cool. Yeah. Nah, dude. Also filmed some stuff. Yeah. That's really nice. I'm glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to a lot of that stuff coming out. Because everybody's interested in this game. Look, it's had a big impact in just a few days that we've known about it.
God, yeah.
Right? I mean, it's couple of things. Everybody likes Gear, even if you don't play it. I don't play it, but everybody likes Arc System. Like nobody doesn't like them. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Nobody thinks like, oh, I'm not gonna play Gear because it looks dumb. No, nobody. If you're not playing it, it's because like you prefer something else or you don't want to spend the time or whatever it is. Nobody doesn't like them. Everybody thinks that they're a good dev. And again, not just Gear, but BlazBlue, and even when it comes to like the wild, wacky stuff, HNK was a super fun, crazy game. You know what I mean? Like they make fun stuff. So they're a great choice for this kind of an IP that requires weird, wild stuff. Like it would be weird if somebody who makes games that are like more grounded and not movement heavy, if they made it, like that'd be weird.
Right.
So they picked like the perfect developer.
It's perfect. And it just cements my theory that these guys are the only company that should ever make a Darkstalkers game. Like seriously, if Capcom ever wants to make Darkstalkers, just go hire Arc System Works and be like, let's team up. You make this game, we'll publish it. Do your thing with this crazy animation style for Darkstalkers. Cause dude,
why not, man?
I mean, still, Darkstalkers is still probably more transforming than a lot of other games where, like, legs turn into buzzsaws and stuff like that. Because even Guilty Gear doesn't have a ton of that stuff, right? Doesn't have people's limbs transforming. Yeah. And that's always harder to do, much harder to do in 3D than people actually think.
Okay, of course.
But basically what would happen, it would be like Necalli's hair. You've seen the model that you see both hair there, and they just make one invisible and the other one's not invisible.
That makes sense.
During the time. So basically, that's what I would imagine Darkstalkers characters would be like.
They'd have to be walking around with like 20 invisible.
So if you turned off invisibility, like Raptor would have ribs sticking out, and one leg would be a chainsaw, the other would be a buzzsaw, and like there would be giant spikes sticking out of his elbows and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, you know what? Some of you posted in the chat that not everybody likes the anime style. That's definitely true. I guess what I meant, rather than everybody likes Gear and BlazBlue and stuff for that stuff, it's that like you recognize that they're very good games. Like the gameplay is very good, right? Like there's nobody who thinks that like the gameplay in those games sucks, right? Like I've never met anybody who thinks that. Everybody I know, even if they don't play them, thinks that they have good gameplay. I certainly think that. So again, I'm very excited for this. I think it's the perfect developer with a great IP, and it's a super popular thing. Everybody's going wild for it. It's there are very few IPs that are like accepted, I feel, in the way that something like Dragonball Z is. Everybody knows if you're from this generation and later, like you know about it. Like it's one of those like transcending things. So I think it's got a lot of potential. for a lot of people to pick it up, and I hope that some percentage of those people will try to play it competitively, and we'll get more people into the scene and all that stuff. That's my hopes. I have good hopes for it.
And honestly, some people really truly believe that this could be potentially a huge franchise for the fighting game community because it has that Street Fighter / Smash Brothers recognizability.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, so
yeah.
But Kugi has another thread here that I guess I'll read on here.
Go for it. I see the words up there. But
my final impression after testing for 1 hour: this is the best fighting game I've ever played. I'm not shilling at all. It's incredible.
1 hour.
The game manages to combine some of the best features from Guilty Gear, the Marvel vs. Capcom series, with Icona Heart's homing dash perfectly. The full-screen zoning and Intus rushdown combinations I tested all work, and it felt very freeform, but not overwhelming. There you go.
Well, I'm happy to hear that he is high on it.
That's
better than the opposite.
I had some serious emotions playing it, like this is the true MVC2 successor. Plus, Guilty Gear makes me feel something strong.
Yeah, look, those are the two games that, well, in Marvel 3, that he really played the most.
Yeah.
Poogie. So, like I said, I think he's a great person to be testing this game and talking about it because he knows both of those franchises better than most people.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but hey, I'm happy to hear that he's excited for it. Maybe, we'll see if it's the best game ever. It certainly looks good.
Yeah,
we'll see when it comes out.
Especially if it does. Because, see, here's the thing, right? The main thing that I'll probably, talk about is that what it sounds like they're doing is they're doing the correct thing where they are trying to make a game with low barrier of entry. So with one character I can hit buttons and shoot lasers across the screen and everything like that. But it sounds like that there's also going to be some high-level stuff in here. So you can have fun for the lower-level players, and then you'll have something fun for the higher-level players.
For sure.
Dumbing down fighting games is just not the correct answer.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So there we go. Okay.
Well, it's scheduled for release early 2018, which is not that far off in the game dev cycle. We're talking about a little bit over half a year, assuming it's early and not early 2017, meaning June 2017, as somebody else did recently. But even if it is, if they have a year left, look, I am of the philosophy that you take whatever time you need and you make a good game. And
it's interesting. So, I mean, they are obviously ArcSys has done a bunch of stuff with like good betas for Guilty Gear, and apparently someone in the chat is saying that there was going to be a closed beta for the game before August or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. If they actually put in probably August before the end of summer, if they make a closed beta and they actually put in a training mode like all the other betas that they've given out for Guilty Gear,
hey, they're stealing the scene.
Yeah, basically
everybody plays that game in August.
Yeah, and there's actually something really interesting that we'll get to when we get to the FGC news stuff too. Yeah. An interesting side effect about Dragon Ball Z. So we'll get there in just a little bit. So
yeah, the training mode, the hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah,
it's got to be called that. That Raph tweet was spot on. It's got to be called that.
Yes, agreed.
And I believe in them enough that it might be.
Yeah, right.
All right, man. It's all good. We're looking forward to playing it tomorrow.
Yes.
We will, of course, talk about our own experiences with it, but in the meantime, check out Kugi, please.
Yeah, you can see that at the bottom of the screen right there. All right, do you want to take a break? When we come back, we can talk about MVCI?
Let's do it.
All right, be right back, guys.